help you, Sarge?
Yeah. Yeah, I just walked in. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, too. Mm-hmm.
Was that Davis?
Sit down, Joe.
He's nuts booting me off the line. I can still hack it.
Yeah, you look real sharp.
So I got stoned. I'm okay now.
You know Davis can't take a chance.
Well, have I ever goofed yet?
You just did.
Look, I know my responsibility as crew chief.
And you should have remembered it last night.
Don't shout.
You knew you had a flight this morning. You knew what was at stake. Brass here to watch. The old man may have to scrub the test. And if that happens, he's liable to scrub your promotion, too. Now, why did you do it, Joe? You of all people.
I didn't mean to.
Well, that's no excuse. What are you going to tell the old man?
I don't know. I guess this does kind of louse me up, huh?
Unless you've got an awful good reason.
You want to tell me what happened?
Mike, I don't feel so good.
Look, you're liable to feel a lot worse when the old man gets through with you. Now, come on, level with me. What happened? You have a fight with your wife? You lose your shirt in the game? What happened?
Mike, I've got to lie down. I'm sick.
Okay, go in the CQ room. Let me know when you're ready to talk. For your sake, I hope you've got a real good reason for what you did.
Did you get Joe squared away?
Yeah, he's sleeping it off.
I sure hated to lower the boom on him. He's as fine a crew chief as I've ever seen. But I had no choice.
Any idea why he got drunk?
No. I asked him, but all I got was a lot of double talk.
Yeah, me too. Has he had any trouble with his crew or anything?
No. Although he was worried about Hankins yesterday.
Oh, why?
Well, I overheard them talking.
What's the matter with you, Hankins? If I haven't double-checked your topping off of those fuel tanks...
I'm sorry, Sarge. I guess I'm just too doggone worried about my mom.
What about her?
Well, I got a letter today, and she's gone back in the hospital again.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Another operation?
Looks like. Kind of takes my mind off things here.
I can sympathize. But remember, no matter what problems we may have, that's no excuse for not doing our job.
Yeah, but I just can't help it. I'm worried about her.
Well, of course you are. That's to your credit. But you've also got your duty to do here. Now, you're part of a team. Other guys are depending on you, maybe with their lives. So no matter what problems any of us may have, we can't let them interfere with our job. That's got to come first.
Yeah, sure.
But I hope everything works out.
Thanks, Sarge. I'll try and do better.
Man, you sure got to keep an eye on Hankins.
Well, what about keeping an eye on yourself? Are you bucking for promotion to tramp, first class?
Oh, Sarge, don't chew me out again.
You got something against haircuts and shoe shine?
Heck, what's the difference how my head and feet look as long as I know what to do with my hands?
Because how you look is part of being an airman. Don't you have any pride?
Yeah, sure. But what's that got to do with keeping my head looking like the wrong end of a pig?
On you, Slim, that might be an improvement. Look, you're a good mechanic. I'm glad you're on my crew. But other people have a habit of judging the Air Force by the way we look. Well, how about giving the rest of us a break, huh?
Okay, Sarge. But it's a sacrifice.
So today, Slim shows up looking like the pride of the Air Force, and Joe's on his face.
I can't figure it.
Hi, Mike. Sergeant, this new study information just came in.
Thanks. How's everything in the education department?
Better off than here, I guess. What's this about Joe Conway?
He's just hung over.
But I had to take him off the line.
It's hard to believe. Joe's been one of our best students.
Yeah, I know. You got any ideas?
No. That is, not unless...
Unless what?
Well, Joe was talking to me last week. We were discussing some courses he'd finished and what he ought to take next week.
Well, what about world history, Mr. Hunter? You think that might be a good idea?
Yes, I do, Joe. You've been sticking pretty close to the technical side, and world history would give you a valuable overall background for some of the things that are happening.
That's the way I feel. As a matter of fact, I just wish there was time enough to take a couple of more courses along with it. There's so much to learn in so little time.
Well, the rate you've been going, you shouldn't have any regrets there. And I want to compliment you on your fine grades. I know it's taken a lot of hard work and self-discipline.
Well, with a wife and 2 kids, almost 3, that is, I've got to keep thinking about the future. And the way I figure it, the more a guy learns, the better his chances are.
So Joe signed up for world history and, of course, in American government.
Well, what's that got to do with what happened this morning?
Well, Joe's been pushing himself pretty hard and cramming. Maybe he overdid it. I've seen it happen. Maybe he took a drink to relax and things happened.
Maybe, but I can't quite buy that.
I can't either.
What about his wife? They ever fight?
Well, if they do, I never heard about it. My wife and I see him off and on. That is when Joe isn't busy.
Maybe he's worried about his wife being pregnant.
Could be.
Why don't you talk to her, Mike?
Maybe I will. I'd sure like to get a line on what happened. Before Joe has to face the old man. Morning, Betty.
Why, Mike, what are you doing here?
I'd like to talk to you for a moment. May I come in?
Well, sure. Come on in. Have a seat.
Did you see Joe this morning before he left?
Yes, why?
Well, then you know how he was feeling.
Has something happened?
He was kicked off the line.
I'm sorry.
Betty, I've known you and Joe for a long time. This is something a guy like Joe just doesn't do. But he's in trouble. If I knew what happened, maybe I could help a little.
Didn't he tell you?
No.
Guess he never was one to talk about us. At least for that, I'm grateful.
Now, look, I don't mean to butt in, but if you and Joe had a fight, at least that's something we can understand.
It was more than a fight.
You, want to tell me about it?
You'll have to know about it anyhow. When Joe came home last night, it was just like always.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dad. Yes.
You kids been good today?
Sure, Dad. But Tommy had a fight with a boy. I didn't hurt him none. You punched him in the nose. He had it coming.
Oh, hi, dear.
Joe, you've got to talk to Tommy about this fighting.
Oh, he's just learning to take care of himself.
I saw it from the window. Tommy started it.
But, Mom...
Look, I'm not gonna hold court now. Beat, I've had a rough day. Son, give me a beer, huh?
Sure, Dad.
Joe, you don't seem to realize how serious this thing is with Tommy. He's getting a reputation.
I'll talk about it later.
But you never seem
Look,
to have...
I don't want to get into a hassle. Thanks, son.
The other boy, he was making cracks about the Air Force, so I had to punch him.
Good for you. What else could he do, huh?
Yeah, will you play ball with us, huh?
Oh, not now, honey. My dogs are killing me.
But you promised.
Maybe later. You kids run along, huh?
But, Daddy! Just for a little while.
Go on now, scram.
Sharon's been waiting to play with you all afternoon, Joe.
I'll get around to it.
Famous last words.
Now, don't start that again. I've got a right to come home and relax. What am I paying rent for?
Sometimes I wonder.
Here we go again. If just once I could come home without feeling like I ought to apologize.
I'm sorry. I know you work hard, but you're not the only one.
I didn't mean to sound off, honey. You see the doc today?
He says everything's coming along just fine.
As soon as you figure you need help, I'll get a part-time job and we'll hire a girl.
Oh, Joe, do we have to wait that long before you start helping?
Well, what do you mean?
Oh, so many things are piling up. I just can't handle everything anymore.
Well, like what?
Well, like Tommy, for instance. He's getting out of hand. Heaven knows what our neighbors think.
I don't care what they think. We're not going to be here forever.
But we've got to live with them now.
We
can't ignore them. I wish we could see a lot more of them than we do.
I should think with all that jazz you're doing in PTA and your church circle, you about have your fill of them.
You'll never understand, will you?
Look, honey, we're Air Force. We don't stay long enough in one place to make it worthwhile putting down any roots or getting mixed up in local stuff. Let's be realistic.
I am. What I see, I don't like.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, maybe it's time we took an honest look at us, at what's happening to us, as individuals, and as a family.
Oh, for the love of... Look, honey, the doc said I should humor you while you're pregnant, but let's stick to pickles and ice cream, huh? Or how about a beer?
You just won't face it, will you?
I'm starved. Can't we eat? And then if you've got to yak about it...
Dinner's almost ready. And I'm almost ready to cry. I love you. And I admire you for what you're trying to do, for the way you feel about the service. If only you could look at me and the kids with that same kind of loyalty and willingness to take on responsibilities.
What are you talking about? I'm working like a dog to make a living. And if I spend a lot of time at it, it's because I'm trying to get someplace. And for who? For you and the kids. What do you mean I don't have any loyalty or a sense of responsibility to you?
I'm not talking about money. You've taken good care of us that way. And I know it hasn't been easy sometimes. But marriage is supposed to be a sharing, not only of love, but of all the everyday things. The kids growing up, our friends, church, everything. And Joe, we don't have that sharing. Most of the time I feel alone.
But I'm doing all I can. Or am I supposed to give up golf and boycott the NCO club and cancel out the studies?
Of course not. But isn't there enough time for us, too? Or am I just a convenience? You take, Joe, but you don't give. Not really.
Well, I'm going to give you something now. I've been pampering you since you've been pregnant, but I'm going to tell you something, and you better hear it good. When I went into the Air Force, I decided to give it all I could to get somewhere. I happen to know what's going on in this lousy world, and I don't like it. One of these days, the world's going to need us guys, and I want to be as ready as I can. That's my primary mission. That's why I work and study, and why I'm proud of the fact that I'm the best crew chief at this base. So maybe I don't bring you flowers and candy and kiss your hand, but I pay the bills, and when the kids are sick, I sit up with them, and I do what I can around the bloody house. I've loved you. Been faithful to you, and I've hoped that someday we could have everything a lot better. Maybe I'm seeing it crooked. Maybe you're not the woman for me. Or maybe I'm not the guy for you. Maybe you're just not the kind of woman to be an Air Force wife.
Joe, please.
All I know is I'm getting sick and tired of hearing your yapping about how I slough responsibilities at home and don't take an interest in the community and don't go to church with you and all that jazz. I've got a job to do, and I'm doing it the best I know how. And if that's not enough for you,
He didn't come back till early this morning. Didn't shave. We didn't even speak. He just ignored me.
Betty, maybe there's something wrong on both sides.
Oh, I'm not perfect. But do you think I've been asking for so much?
Do you, want me to talk to him?
No, just give him this.
Well, what is it?
I think it's customary to leave a letter when you're calling a marriage quits.
Well, that's the whole story, Joe. I couldn't stop her. I'm sorry.
forget about my re-upping. I'm getting out.
It's going to solve anything?
Look, even if Betty figured I was a lousy husband and father, I've loved her and the kids. You know how I felt about the service. Maybe I'm not really cut out for either.
So you're going to crawl off and feel sorry for yourself, huh?
Mike, I've tried, but God is my witness. I still don't know what I did that was so wrong. Maybe you can tell me. What did I do that was so wrong?
Sit down, Joe. So, in the years I've been around this man's Air Force, I've seen a lot of marriages bust up. And I've seen a lot of guys crack up, too. I almost did once myself. I think the basic reason for most crack-ups is not what a guy does wrong, but what he hasn't done right.
Well, I've been a better family man than most guys, and you know my service record.
Yes, but there's another record that each one of us writes from the moment we're born. The one that shows us what we really are and why sometimes we break.
Go on.
Well, your intentions have been good, but some of your values have been bad.
In my 10 years of service, I've never had any complaints.
Oh?
Not till today.
You wouldn't have had any trouble today if your values at home had been right. Don't you see, a man's performance on the job is directly related to his home life. Well, you were doing great in the Air Force until your family blew up, and you blew up on the job. It's a chain reaction. If any part of a man's life is out of whack, it affects his entire life. It's like you can't fly a plane successfully with a malfunction. There's bound to be trouble for the whole plane.
Yeah, I see what you mean, I guess.
Let me put it this way, Joe. The old man can order us to a certain duty, but he can't order us to put our personal problems and our worries in our hip pocket. And if we can't handle our personal problems okay, then we become a liability to ourselves and to the service. Because when the pressure gets too great, wham.
Well, maybe a guy shouldn't get involved with a family.
Your problem is you didn't get involved enough. You didn't really belong to your family as much as you belong to your squadron.
Well, that's not true.
Well, let's analyze it. How much time have you spent with your kids? I mean, really with them, listening to their problems, playing, helping to shape their growing up?
I've done as good as most guys.
Oh, was that the same yardstick you'd apply to your trying to get ahead in the service? Just doing as good as most guys? What about your kids' schooling? Things like PTA. Have you really tried to help out?
Oh, it'd be a waste of time. Who's going to listen to me?
Is that how you'd feel when you go to bat for one of your crew?
Well, that's different.
Yeah. In one case, you're promoting your career. And in the other, it's just your family. Do you ever really listen to your wife? Do you ever give her the same respect and consideration to her problem of making a home for you that you would to a problem on the flight line? What about church? How often do you go with your wife and your kids?
I've had to study. I've been trying to get ahead.
Sure, at the expense of your family. Can you studied some of those nights you hung around the NCO club or some of the afternoons you played golf? Oh, you tried to be a real hotshot with the men. What about your example to your own kids? You want me to go on, or do you read me?
Yeah, I'm beginning to.
Your home hasn't been much more than a place to hang your hat between hours on the job. You lost communication with your wife. Betty realized this. Tried to make you see it, but you couldn't.
Okay, so what do I do?
Well, I'd suggest you go home to your empty house and look around at everything that you've lost. Pray to God that you can get it back and start again. And this time, act like a man. And being a man takes a lot more than big muscles and a fast brain, Joe. It takes an awareness that we're more than animals, that we have a conscience and a moral side. Because without a sense of the Almighty, we're no better than animals. Maybe worse, because we're losing so much that we might have had. You know, I think your wife did you a big favor. So did Davis when he tossed you off the flight line. The chewing out that you're liable to get from the old man could be the best thing that ever happened to you, if you pick yourself up and start to become the kind of airman that you could be and the kind of family man that I think you really want to be. It all boils down to this, Joe. If we're going to make the most out of the one and only life we're ever going to have on this earth, we can only do it by really joining the human race. And by really learning to belong to our squadron, our community, our home, and our God. to accept all our responsibilities as challenges and through them to grow until we become all that we can become. Someday, you and I may have to put up our lives to show what kind of men we really are. If that ever happens, I want to be ready. I want to be ready physically and mentally, morally and spiritually. I want every chance to win. How about you?